Welcome to the Adult Algorithm Podcast, the How to Adult podcast.
First of all, if you don't have a planner, get one.
I don't know
This
how
ain't
you
high school.
I don't know how you survive.
There will be no sugarcoating whatsoever.
This is the hashtag No Sugarcoating podcast.
And I'm your host, Jasmine Johnson.
You're like the best influence and the worst influence all in one.
Are you ready to grow into your potential? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Adult Algorithm, the How to Adult podcast with your host, Jasmine Johnson. Hi, welcome to episode 31. It's our second episode of our social media month. I'm very glad you could join us today. If you are new to listening, hi, welcome. We're the Adult Algorithm, the How to Adult podcast, teaching you everything that our schools did not teach us that they should have for us to become successful adults. I explained in the last episode why we are doing a social media month, but in general, it is such a big part of our generations and the way we've grown up, so that's why I felt the need that I needed to cover it. Today's episode is no exception at all. We've invited on an amazing guest. To me, she's the princess of Rhode Island. She is so inspiring, so positive, and all of her followers definitely represent that as well, and we will get into that. But first, we need to do a small business highlight of the week. And it just so happens to be one of Maria Rengi's best friends, Darian, who's also an amazing dancer, who started Inspired Apparel. Let's take a look. Inspired Apparel was created when Darian felt it was his turn to inspire others the way he was. This ignited from his love for the creative arts and his passion for dance. Inspired Apparel isn't about a name, brand, or even the line. Inspired Apparel is about your inspirations, your dreams, and your goals. This line represents you. It allows you to show others what you're inspired by and what motivates you to keep pushing for success. We live in a world with so much negativity that at times we tend to forget or lose focus on things that make us happy and inspire us. This line was created to be the constant reminder that we can inspire each other to be better versions of ourselves than we were yesterday. Go check out Inspired Apparel. I hope you guys liked that little highlight. To learn more, please go to inspiredapparelshop.com. Yes, I have it right here. Yes, perfect. And I do want to apologize for uploading this on a Friday. I know it's been a crazy week. It's the first week of my internship, of my accounting internship. I don't think I've ever said what firm I've worked for the past couple years, just because I don't want them to think that, you know, our values don't align, because some of these episodes can be out of pocket. So I'll just keep that a mystery on this podcast for now, but it's been an amazing week. I also got a tattoo on Wednesday. Hey, starting the Harry Potter sleeve. Oh, she's blank on the side, but that's okay. We're gonna get there one day. It's been a crazy week, but I'm very excited to be able to still upload this episode for all of you. So without further ado, let's get into the episode.
Start recording. Whenever you're ready, you can
God,
introduce
so
yourself. I know you're like
recording in progress. I was just like, oh,
it's happening.
Is it recording?
Yes, you got it.
Oh, okay. What's poppin'? It's your girl Rengi, and I'm here with the lovely Jasmine. Love her.
Hey.
And yeah, so I'm from Rhode Island, you know, roadie gang.
Hey.
22. I still feel like I'm like 5, but I'm 22. I'm a social media influencer, freestyle dancer, now a marketing major, going into big things.
Yes.
You know, all that good stuff. I'm Greek. I have a twin sister. She's really cool. Her name's Sophia. I'm from a big family. Shout out Sophia. She's in the other room.
Hey.
Putting on her self-tanner for this wedding next week.
Oh, go off.
She is. So yeah, I'm just always, you know, I'm a vibe. A healthy spirit, trying to make everybody laugh. You know, just Maria doing Rengi things, I guess. I don't know.
I love it. I love that you said I'm such a vibe, because that is so true.
Yeah, right? Like, just
so
it's
true.
just a vibe. I just like vibe out.
You always do your own thing. You're always like so positive, so happy. I love being around you.
Yes. I try to give as much positive energy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because like you never know when like we used to go to the club, like you never know, you don't know the people around you, you don't know what they're going through, you don't know anything, and all you have to do is just give such positive vibes, and then it just like makes have everyone smile. Everyone's dancing, having a great time, laughing. Like,
Yes.
that's just, it's a vibe.
Yes, I
So
agree.
great.
The club used to
agree.
be so hard for me to go to because it's so out of my comfort zone.
Yes, and that
So,
was me too. I remember
yes.
when I first met you, we were both like clubs on our thing, and
Yeah.
we just started vibing out. And then it was like every time I saw you at the club, I was like,
Hey!
we just had dancing. Oh, I can't wait to go back.
I know, I agree. I love it. Hopefully soon. Fingers crossed.
Yes, I know it's been packed, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm letting everyone get it out of their system.
Yes. I was
doing it.
exact
Literally
same.
having everyone get out of the system mid-July. Put the feet in.
Yes.
Put the feet
Agreed.
Yeah.
I love it. And when did you start dancing? Dancing is your passion. It is what
Yes.
you are so amazingly good at. When did you
Thank
start?
you.
Oh, that's my timer. Stop that. Go ahead.
I was like, wait, I thought it was my timer because I had all
You're
these
like,
timers. I was like, wait, did I forget to wake up?
I'm dead.
Oh man, I started dancing when I was 5, but we started like Greek dancing with like my Greek dance troupe at our church for like the Greek festival every year in Cranston. So we started at 5, but you know, every time my mom always played like Michael Jackson, like that was her favorite. Like just any type of music that was on, like everybody would just be dancing. And then so I've been doing. My mom says instead of me kicking when I was a baby, I was breakdancing.
I love it.
I remember she told that to someone that she was like explaining what I do, like dancing and stuff. And she's like, yeah, when she was a baby, she was like breakdancing, not kicking. And I'm like, okay. I was like, I'm going to use that now.
Yes.
I'm going to use that. But yeah, so I've been dancing since I was 5, but not officially realizing and like wanting to keep improving and learning different techniques probably till I was like 9 or 10. So
Gotcha.
like a little over 16 years, which is nuts. I just can't believe it. And it's just like my favorite thing ever.
Absolutely. And what has, are you kidding? You're fabulous. And it's like you've grown so much since that time. So of course it's become this passion.
Oh my, nuts. Yes. I'm so happy.
You're like dancing. I can talk about it every day, all day.
I can talk about it all day, every day.
And this is why everyone needs to watch the YouTube version.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I cannot. We will get to that. We're gonna get to that. I love it.
Oh god, it's so funny.
What has dancing done for your life so far?
It's done a lot. Like I remember like in middle school, like 6th grade. No, I wouldn't even say middle school. I would even say elementary school, probably 3rd grade into 6th-ish, 7th, like half of 7th grade. Like we would always get so bullied because we were twins, we were Greek, blah, 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 you know, all that stupid stuff that little kids did. And like, it's just like, it was my outlook. Like it was my safe space whenever I was like stressed out. Even till this day, literally whenever I'm stressed out, I'm going through some hard times, whether it's family, friends, everything around me, mentally, physically, like dance and music is just saved me from so many like really hard moments where I like was gonna give up. Like like I can't do anything, da da da. And then like everyone's like, just put Chris Brown on, put your favorite music on, put songs on, just do it. And I'm like, oh, then it's like a drag, and I'm like, keep going back and forth, like gonna quit. Like this is it. I'm tired of all this negativity, da da da. And then I literally put on music, and then it just brings me back alive. You know what I mean? So whenever it's just like saved my soul, and it's now making me realize how important it is, and how now that I'm growing up and I'm still able to do it, and even having my like teenage problems and now my adult problems, how it's still my safe zone and I would never be able to grow out of it. So it's just done so much mentally for me, and it's like literally my outlook and my safe space.
That's
every
amazing.
time, especially like if we're at the club, like I'm so nervous no matter if I go out in public, And like when the music's on and like that one song comes on and I'm just dancing, like everything just goes away.
Yeah.
Like it's just gone. It's out of there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I know.
And it's such a huge part of your life, and like not just, you can't just tell in person, but like you've created this huge platform for yourself, and it shows through that as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that? When did you start social media and how it took off?
Man, social media. I started to post, I believe it was 6th or 7th grade when, I think it was 7th grade when Instagram came out, when I was in 7th grade. Oh, I don't even know what year that was. But whenever Instagram came out, I remember everyone was on social media. So we would always just like post little pictures, before, and then Instagram came out with video. And then I was always, when I look back at the videos, I'm like, God, why did I post those videos? I suck. But, you know, like in that time, like little Maria, she was like, oh, like this is so cool. Like I can dance and I can post this. Like, and then so I just kept posting, and then I stopped for a little bit because then people email, you know, oh my God, like you suck, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, I'll just stop because everyone thinks I suck. And then after 7th grade, I remember I stood up to one of the bullies, which was actually a really close friend, but she always swapped between me and my twin with bullying, depending on whose room she was in.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah. So it was like those things that I like finally stood up to her. I was just like, no, like this is done. Like we're done. And like she was like scared. She was like, oh, okay. And then she just walked away. And then that's when I just started posting more. And then Musically came out when I was in high school. I believe it was like going into like it was going into sophomore year.
Yeah.
In that summer, and like in the fall I'd be a sophomore. And I remember Musically came out, and like me and my friends, we would always be like, we're always watching it, and we're like, oh, we should just download it. Like it looks fun, you know. You see all the ads of like the ugly challenge. You make yourself look ugly, and then like you do a transition, and then it's like this beautiful goddess or whatever the case may be. And we're like, you know, it just seems so much fun. So then we all downloaded it, blah blah blah, blah. And I was like, I'm never gonna like post. Like I'll watch stuff and I'll never post. And then one day I remember I saw like this girl, Jalea, shout out to Jalea. She's actually one of my really good friends. And I saw her post this like little like dance video, and it was like to hit the quan and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like, let me try it. So I was just picked random sounds, and I made a video of me tutting, which is like angles and
yes.
And I posted it, and it just literally, I woke up the next morning, I remember, and I was like, what does featured mean? And I was like, why is my phone blowing up? Like, no one texts me. Like, why is it blowing up? So I literally looked, and it had like over 100,000 likes. And I'm like,
that's awesome.
I'm like, what? I was just like, is it this easy? No, there's no way. So, and then that's where it took off. And I just kept posting and posting. And now we're at 1 million, almost hopefully we hit 2 million by the end of 2021.
Yes.
And now it's called TikTok, as everyone knows. Musically was TikTok, but they just changed the name. So yeah, so we're about to hit 2 million. And honestly, like being on that platform between Musically and TikTok and like Instagram,
yeah, they
just like treat like people so well, and like, oh, they're just like the best. After working with them and like knowing how like the algorithm works and knowing certain things, I'm like, oh my God, like really care about the people that's posting on their app. Like,
right.
You never would realize like people go on Facebook, like, or like Instagram or TikTok even, and they're like, they probably don't give a crap about what the people post, but they do. And it's literally nuts, like the knowledge that after being in all these like seminars with TikTok and like Instagram, I'm like, wow, they really care what people post, and like want to inspire people by what other people are posting depending on what they like. And I'm like, wow, they just like think everything like so thought out. And I was like, oh my God, like this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like literally, this is what I want to do. I don't care. I would have never guessed in a million years this would be where my life is today. If little Maria looked back, I would be like, how did this happen? Because this wasn't in the agenda when we were little. We were FBI, like criminal justice. This is what we wanted to do. How did it go from that to social media and dancing? And I don't know. But honestly, I wouldn't regret anything or change anything.
That's awesome.
Social media is great.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Thank you for that insight. That is really cool. Welcome. Very cool.
The more you know.
Yes. And you are from Rhode Island. Shout out Rhody, yes. Like we said.
Rhody.
Yes. And what is it like having such a big dream in the smallest state?
You know, I get this question a lot. Was it like, you're from Rhode Island? Like, isn't it small? And I'm like, well, yeah. It's like, I feel like being in the small state makes, well, me personally, and probably like other people who live here who have like big dreams, like this, I feel like the smaller the space you're in, the bigger your mind is thinking. Because like personally, like with my mind, I always think outside the box. So if I'm in this small state and I'm like, ooh, like there's so many things around me. Like if I were to live in like California or Texas, like everywhere you go, you're still in Texas, you know what I mean? Or California. It's like with Rhode Island, it's like where literally you can drive not even 25, 30 minutes and you're not even in the state anymore. So it's like to me, it's like, oh my God, like I want to dream big because I'm so used to being small. Now I want to be big. And like having big dreams, it is tough because you feel, especially in Rhode Island, like everybody knows each other or everybody knows someone from somebody. And every time you drive somewhere, I could drive 2 minutes down the road and I'll see somebody I went to high school with, or I seen somebody that I met once at the club. Like you just see everybody no matter where you go. So it's like almost kind of tough, especially with social media, because everyone's like, oh, like that's the girl that posts on stuff. That's the girl who thinks she can dance or this and that. Or you have the people that are like, oh my God, like I follow you. Like people come and we're also work in like retail, and like they come into my work and they're like, aren't you famous on TikTok? And I'm like, I wouldn't say famous, but like I am on TikTok. And
I love it.
Like,
so humble.
I don't look at myself like that because like my life where it is my life, and then social media is like my side gig. And now that I like graduated college, like now it's gonna be like it's gonna be cut in half, so it's gonna be more my main. And then like I'm gonna have my regular life. So I feel like Hannah Montana in a way, but not too crazy. But yeah, so like then you have the people that I'm like, they're like, I know you from somewhere, and I'm like, did we like meet at a family gathering? Did we meet at the mall? Like it's never my first instinct to think they probably see my videos on TikTok. After being on social media for 6 years, it is still never my first initiated thought that they think that they know me from TikTok. I always forget. And it's just so funny because then you have those people that are like so humble. They're like, oh my God, like you're so dope. Like you're from Rhode Island, like keep doing what you're doing. You're going to be big. And I'm like, oh, it's so dope. Like you just never know. And like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people in Rhode Island think they need to stay in Rhode Island. As people like looked outside the box and dream big. Like if you dream it, you can do it.
Yes.
I go by this quote by Walt Disney, of course, because like I love Disney. So it was literally my senior quote.
Love it.
If you have the courage to fulfill your dreams, nothing is stopping you but yourself. Literally, like all you need to do is have the courage within yourself to do it. So like it literally doesn't matter where you are. You could be in like Alaska, Antarctica, if even people live there. You know what I mean? Like you can literally be anywhere, and you can, as long as you're positive and you stay positive and also stay humble, like just be true to yourself and set your mind to it. Like anybody can do whatever they want to do and be successful. If you have doubt, if you're just tricking your mind, you're tricking the universe. Like you can't do that. You just have to let it all like flow, let things gradually happen, and just be up as positive as you can. And people can do it. So that's what I'm trying to motivate a lot of Rhode Islanders to do. Like, I have friends who are dancers who do different things, photography, like all their special talents. I'm like, you guys can like be huge. Like, have you ever thought about that? And they're like, no, like we're from Rhode Island. And I'm like, so am I. You see me traveling, like
right, exactly.
You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of people think that just because you're from Rhode Island that you won't be big. Like we had DJ Pauly B, like we always had like random people, like not a lot, you know what I mean? Like it's very few from Rhode Island, but like those very few that just doubting themselves can be the next few that's big.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like people now, especially now, I think a lot of people are aiming a lot more towards their dreams, which is good, which I'm happy about. And especially in Rhode Island.
Yes.
Kind of motivate little Rhodey. You got to give us some love, you know?
Exactly. And kind of going off of that, tell us about the things you've chosen to use your social media platform to talk about and be passionate about and really motivate your watchers to get from your social media.
Yes. So my social media is literally just me like goofing off sometimes.
Which is great.
Just like to live life. Like it doesn't matter how I'm weird. Like I don't care what people say. Like I'm weird. Like I could like be sitting down and I look at someone, I give them the most weirdest face. Like it could be anything. Like you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
life is just way too short to worry about anything else because like I could die people could die the next day. They could die in a couple of weeks. Like you just never know. And that's where I've learned to stop worrying about like I love everybody around me, but sometimes you just need to shut yourself out and just do what's best for you because at the end of the day it's your life and like you're gonna do whatever you want to do. And I just live every day like it's my last. So like I try to push that through social media, like just do like whatever the day is, do what you need to do, whatever's on your agenda, and then do something for yourself. Whether it's treating yourself or it's you're going to your favorite place. Like me, it's going to Disney, or it's me going to California, me doing day trips, going to the club, like little things, bowling. You know, it's like something to do for yourself. And then also for my social media, I'm also trying to push that, like I was saying about Rhode Island, like people, I want to encourage people to get their dreams and make it a reality. Like, especially with me being from Rhode Island, a lot of people who I start following, they're like, "You're from Rhode Island? I isn't that in New York?" I'm like, "No, it's the smallest state." And
oh my gosh.
They're like, "Wait, what? Like you're from the small state and like you're this big?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, like anybody could do it. Like it doesn't matter where you are. It's all about your mindset."
Absolutely.
And like especially now we have all these phones and technology. Like it literally doesn't matter where you are. You can pretend like you're in Hawaii and make videos at the beach all day and get that and millions of views, and people would never know where you're from. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to push that because I wish someone told me that earlier in my stage, like
absolutely
do it a lot sooner than if people are telling you, no, like you're going to dance. Are you sure you want to do that for the rest of your life? Like I wish someone pushed me and opened my eyes to know that it comes within yourself to do it. Like nobody around you is stopping you but yourself.
Yes.
So that's what I'm also pushing on my social media and just like people just having a good time. Like social media can be like so serious and like especially with like creators in like the industry, it's like it's very rare that other creators support each other. Like I'm so thankful I have my little like group I would say connecting with people, especially with like the people who follow me. Like I always used to like do FaceTime calls while I was on live and FaceTime people, and like you just see people like just the fact that people can look up to you, especially like little kids. Like we were always the cool cousins, so like they always looked up to us, and like I had all these followers that are on the younger side, like looking up to me, and it just like, especially meeting them in person too, if people meet me, it's like, oh my God, like I'm really inspiring these people. And majority of the time they're like, oh, you got me back into dancing. I was scared. I had an injury. I was scared to go back. You inspired me to go back, or I always wanted to try dancing. And like, you helped me like get through it because like you like love what you like. People can see in my videos like how much I love to do it, and like I goof off doing it. Like anybody can do that. Like if you love music, you love to move, like do it. Like nothing's stopping you. So I think that's my favorite, is connecting with like the people who follow me, but also creating connections with like other influencers and like having the same vibe. And like it's sometimes I met like my favorite dancers, and like I freaked out. Like when I first met my friend Fiction, like I watched him from So You Think You Can Dance since when he went on. Wow. Like he was like one of my favorite dancers. My favorite dancer was like Blueprint. He's my homie. Like I just like all the people I used to look up to are like I'm friends with. And it's so crazy to me to this day that I'm even like friends with them, or I even have a video with them. And like that's what just makes it so much better. It's just like, wow, like this life that I'm living is like I'm literally meeting the people who I was inspired by. And like that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I'm literally meeting them and hanging out with them. And like it's just like the best time. And like it just made my life so much better. And I think that's what I love about social media. If you do it right, it could literally make your life, turn it upside down, flip it for the best, and like you're solid.
I love it. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
So much fun.
You're like, I love everyone. It's great.
I do, like just meeting people. Like
yeah.
I used to like I have a friend like that, like I have a couple of friends that like are huge on TikTok, and I still look at them. I'm like, because like I known them from when we were all starting out, and like seeing people grow, seeing people like get to where they are, and you're like, that's so awesome.
It's very cool.
Like I just like that's dope, and like that's why like I love having all the support from like everybody and all my friends, and like you know what I mean. Like it just like it's like wow, like they're like they see how much I love it, and they want me to keep doing it. No one's trying to tear me down. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Exactly.
It's just the best.
Oh, I love it. Sorry about my dog barking in the background. I have to say that every podcast.
Trying to make a friend.
Love it. 2 cute doggies. I love it. So kind of going on the opposite side of that, how have you overcome your, and this can be in general too, not just on social media, but how have you overcome your biggest obstacles and failures during this time of your growth?
I think honestly, I think music literally is just like any type of struggle or situation, like music just literally heals me back up. Like I literally put it on, and the music, I just let it run through my veins, and it heals every patch in my brain too, like mentally. Like me and music, like everyone can say, oh, music is like my life. I love music so much, but like with me and music, it literally heals me. And like I have a couple of other dancer friends that understand that too, because all they listen, like they just relied on music because it was always stagnant. It was not like you relied on a person to help you or help you go in the right directions. Like music literally guided me.
It's always there.
Yeah, it's always
and it's always growing.
Yes, and it's evolving every single day. And that's what I think helped me a lot and can help a lot of other people too. Especially when like if you're just going through, let's say, a breakup, or let's say I get dancer's block a lot more than a lot of people think. I get dancer's block. Sometimes I physically can't dance, and like I'll just put on my boombox. I'll crank it up.
We love the boombox.
Love my boombox. and I just play all my favorite songs, like Chris Brown, like August Alsina, like Jacquees, like all my favorite songs that I not normally would dance, like I would dance to, but maybe I wouldn't post, or songs that like, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I look at it a different way, hearing the song, and I'm like, okay, I dig this vibe a little bit different than I was before. Let me see if I can move to it. Then I wouldn't think I would actually move to it the way I was. And it just makes me think. And then then the next day I would film a dance video and everyone would love it. And I'm like,
yes.
So I tried, I think, yeah. So like my dancer's block is probably my biggest struggle, but music just mends it all.
I love it. That's amazing.
It really does.
That's great.
Music is great.
Music is great. That's true. And I love that it evolves. Like,
yeah,
every single year, it's like something better, something more new. It's amazing.
Yeah, especially like me personally, like I'm very picky with music too. Like a lot of the newer stuff that's been coming out, like I can't get myself to listen to. But then all of a sudden, like Chris Brown will pop up a song with her, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna play this all the time now because I can't listen to this person. I can't really listen to this person. But the people I know that's gonna come out with good music every single time, they come out with one together.
Oh my gosh, you manifest it.
Like, oh my God. I was like, okay, it's on repeat. Let's go. That's it. So yeah, all the new music. And I feel like it's just gonna keep evolving for the better. I already have a feeling that people about to drop albums, and I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself if people drop albums all together.
Your body's gonna be like dying because you're gonna just be dancing all day.
It's gonna be dancing all the time, and then my phone is gonna be like storage, like you filled up your storage, and I'm gonna be like, oh, damn, why do you gotta do this to me?
That's great. Can't wait for that to happen.
Oh, me too.
We're manifesting it.
Manifesting it.
That's great. Okay, next question. Next question. It's happening. We only have a couple left. I can't believe how fast this went by. Oh my gosh.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I'm like ready. I'm like,
hey. See, again, so I have to watch the YouTube version. Come on.
Yes. I watched the YouTube. You wouldn't have known what I just did if you didn't watch the YouTube version.
Unless you're driving in a car right now, we don't want anything like that.
Yes. No. Keep on driving. Get to your place, then pop up the video.
Yes.
And watch what I just did.
Perfect.
Because it's probably going to happen once in a lifetime. So you're going to have to watch it.
Love it. Thank you for helping me get the views up. That's great.
Yes, views up. You want this to go nuts.
Hey, it's going to go crazy.
It's going to go crazy.
Yes. And speaking of going crazy brazy, what are some of the strategies our listeners can take away to use their dream to help grow their social media?
That's a very interesting question.
Yeah. Because some people just, they use the algorithm and they do this and that, but we talked about authenticity and they just do what the norm is. But using your dream to grow is, I feel like, a whole nother type of algorithm. Aside. Yeah.
It's going to set you aside. And so, like, let's say someone's dream is like photography, let's say. So let's say they were to do photography, they make a photography account, also make a personal account, because when something like that, when you're doing like a service, especially for social media, you want them to be able to have your service account and then check out your social media and get your vibe. So that's pretty much like any type of fashion, like any type of clothing line. Like you want to look what they're posting, who they're working with, like how are they doing things, stuff like that. So I would suggest the same and try to be as like show people who you are with social media, and then you'll start getting the traffic. Because when you start getting the traffic and people like what you post and like they're like, oh, she's so real, like I really dig what she's posting, I'll follow her. And then when you make a business account, they'll be like, okay, I'm going to follow that too, because I already can see good things coming. And yes, it's great to follow the algorithm, but I don't follow the algorithm at all. And what I do is I look to see what, like, kind of, you follow what's trending in a way. Like, let's say focus is for TikTok. TikTok is probably the biggest platform to grow any type of business, any type of hobby you like. If you have a cool video, like, post it. And like, yes, it's great to use it, out of all the things, just use trending sounds for TikTok, but make it your own video. Like, people will make certain dance videos for certain dance songs, and like, I'll do some moves, but then I'll add a little like Renji twist to it, and like, I'll do like a robotic move, or I'll do a wave, or do an isolation, and then it throws people off. And they're like, wait, what did she just do? Like, I wasn't it's not like what they're expecting. So you always want to do the unexpected in any type of video, any type of post, because that is what's going to drive people to be like, oh my God, that's so cool. I wouldn't even think about that. So then they're going to hit the follow button. And also looking at your analytics, because yes, the algorithm is great, but you just never know with any type of algorithm. So you always want to look to see what your followers are actually looking at. So if your algorithm says, let's say 3 p.m. is when your followers that's following you are most active and looking at your page, that's when you post. Like, all these videos and posts about you can post at 1, 5, or 12 a.m. And I'm like, why? I was like, you can't, that's not the way to do it. And yes, those videos go viral and they seem like they work, but they don't work for everybody. Like, if that's where, like, you just always have to look at your analytics and like go by that, because that's all I do. And I post whenever anybody's active, and then I'll see the engagement. So you can even tell what posts people are liking and digging, and then what they're not. If they're sharing it to people, cool. Like, that's what you want, is to have people share and like grab everybody else's attention. Like, hey, look at this. Like it's dope. Like, I wouldn't normally share stuff, but you guys need to see it. And people know that when I post or repost something on my story, they know that like I've watched it and I dig it, because I have all these DMs. Like, I try to support as much people as I can, but it's one of my biggest pet peeves is like, don't send stuff to people, especially on Instagram. Don't send a video saying, hey, check this out. You want it to be authentic. Have people watch it when they watch it. Have people like it, or have people comment if they want to comment and share. Like, when I tell you, I get this on a daily of dancers sending me stuff, like, I will gladly watch it when it pops up on my feed, because you're just seeking, like, to me, it's probably not what they mean. They probably just want it to share, and like, but at the end of the day, it's like, you're seeking the attention of the numbers. You're seeking the attention of having it go viral. Like, that can't be your mindset. Like, you have to be authentic and just let it happen when it happens. I have some videos that have 1 million views. I have some videos that have 2,000 views. It doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just posting the content that I want to post. But I'm not sharing it to people like, hey, check this. Yes, post it on your Instagram story. Hey, I just posted a new YouTube video. I just posted a TikTok. I posted a new Instagram. Post it on your stories, and that is it. Don't send it to other people unless someone told you, hey, send it to me when you're done filming it or when you're done posting it. That's different. But when you're sending it through like all your DMs and all the followers you have and just sending it, that's not cool. Like, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. I just
valid.
I want, you know what I mean? Like, you want it to be authentic. You want the view, because if it's not authentic, then like, it's not real. Like, you didn't earn it. You know what I mean? Like, I want people to earn it. And like, that's why I'm trying to like push people. Like, if people send me stuff and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, hi, Sophia. Sophia popped her head in.
Hi.
Says hello.
Hi, Sophia.
She says hi, Jess. But yeah, so like, just push for authenticity. Like, don't try to seek, like I said before, even in any situation, don't seek validation from anybody. Just post. If it doesn't go crazy, it will. Like,
it will.
Especially on TikTok. Like, I posted a video like when me and Sophia did, like, it was a Musical.ly, and it was a video of me and her like reenacting Lilo and Stitch. Right now, it's going nuts. Like, it's popping back up.
That's so funny.
Granted, it was already like kind of big, like from back then, but like, it's coming back up. Like, things just gradually come back.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm trying to force it on people, especially now, whoever's watching it, do not send your content to other people unless they ask for it. Because when I tell you, it makes a big difference on views, because when you're sending it, people don't want to watch it.
No.
Like, why are you sending me this? Like, let me watch it when it's on my feed. Like, that's not what a DM is supposed to be, unless you're sharing content from other creators. Like, hey, watch this. This is dope. Different. But if you're sending your own content, like, let it ride. Let it go. Just let it do its thing, because once you let it do its thing, it will take off.
Yeah.
And like, and no shot. So
absolutely,
that's what I will say to everybody. Just let it ride.
Yes, great advice.
Yes, let it ride.
That's awesome. And speaking of advice, what do you wish that you learned in school, but you didn't, and you had to learn later on in adulthood?
In school-wise?
Yeah, like, I know that, well, this whole podcast is around, learning the things that we didn't learn in school, and us just figuring it all out together as our generation. What's something for you that you had to figure out on your own?
There's a lot.
So much, right?
Me and school just never clicked. Like, I tried my best so hard. Like, even my sister, like, she's like, I don't understand why you're struggling. It's like, I can't connect. I'm more of a, like, when they say, like, people are book smart and then people are street smart, I'm the street smart. Like, I'm reality. Like, I can figure things out. Like, people teach me, like, I'm golden. I'll remember for the rest of my life. When I'm in school, I could never grasp any type of messages unless it was, like, in subjects I were interested in, like marketing classes and my advertisement classes. Like, that is where I succeeded and strived, because I loved those classes, because it was working my brain. It was hands-on. So that was the stuff I liked. I think the only thing that I couldn't click in school was, like, any type of, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, school is supposed to be where everybody learns about each other and about the content and the topics that they're talking about, and everyone's succeeding and growing. But, whenever you're in an environment, is like, when you're in the outside world, like, they don't prepare you in school for the outside world. Like, they try their best to, but at the end of the day, they have to stick to the books. And I wish that a lot of, like, schools and, like, colleges prepped you more for the real life, like, for real life moments. Like, when you're at a job, or, like, they're teaching you in your degree, like, oh, you need to do this, but then you go to your degree and they're like, oh, we don't use that. And they're like, okay, so why did I spend all this money going to school when I'm not even going to use it? So that's why me and school never got along, especially. But the only classes that actually helped me for my real life was my advertisement classes, because I used everything I learned there and applied it to my social media and my marketing and everything. And, like, I've just seen a huge difference. And because my teacher literally gave it to us straight, she was like, listen, I'm not touching the book. I came here to give you guys a sense of the real world, because all my employees that came out of college, they couldn't even do anything because they were all only set on the books.
Wow.
And she gave it to us straight. Oh my God, she was my favorite teacher. I took her for 4 years. Yeah, took her for 4 years. It was the best. Like, she was. So I think more teachers need to create that environment of, like, a real life scenarios, or, like, real life talking. Like, don't treat your students like they're just students. Like, treat them like if they were at the job, or, like, treat them like you're like as one. You know what I mean? So I think that is something that college never taught me personally, was, like, the real life. Other than that one teacher at my, like, in college,
right?
After, like, you know what I mean, and, like, high school and everything. Like, they just need to prep you, because it's not people. Like, a majority of, like, people who come out of high school or college, like, they have no idea what they're doing.
Exactly.
And, like, you feel so bad, because then you like, people always have different mindsets. Excuse me. And then it's like, if that one person or teacher just gave it to them and tested the waters on real life. Like, this is what you guys are going to do. I feel like it would change that student and be like, oh,
it would.
Cool. I can handle this. And it'll make them strive to be, because they know that they'll be able to handle that because they gave it to them straight.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I think a lot of teachers need to do that more often now than before.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like everything else you learn on your own. You learn.
Yes, like
we all learn together.
Learn how to communicate.
Yep.
Or like a lot of, especially like with networking, it's like you can use it in any profession, and teachers don't, like, nobody teaches you how to network.
Yep.
And like you need to network, and no matter profession, like especially with my profession, all I do is network.
Yeah.
I taught myself at 16 years old how to network because like I blew up when I was 16 and I was traveling by myself. I had to step up. Like, I'm like, oh my God, like I don't know how to talk to these businesses. I don't know how to do this because like in school, in my business classes in high school, no one's teaching
you. You didn't learn that.
Network. Yeah, like you got like, especially in like college, like no one's really teaching you how to communicate with other businesses and what to grab, like what, or even to send an email.
Right.
Like an email, like a business
sad.
email or something. Like you have to learn on, like I learned all this stuff when I was like 17, 18 because like I had to.
Right.
So I was working with all these businesses. I'm like, oh my God, like how do I do this? And it's so funny because then when I get to college and they're like, okay, send a business email instead of teaching you how. And I remember I was the only one that got an A on it. And they're like, how did you know? And I was like, well, I've been working with brands
taught yourself
for years. I taught myself.
Yeah.
I honestly thought I was going to fail this because I didn't know what I was doing. But she was like, oh, that's so nice. So like, you just taught yourself. And I go, yeah, I mean, if you wanted to teach me,
exactly.
obviously can't.
Yeah, go right ahead. Exactly. It's very sad.
Yeah. So I just think nowadays, I think slowly they're trying to, I think they're realizing it.
Yeah.
And I remember my last year of college, like it was more like real life. And I'm like, okay, maybe a lot of people complained. I was like, people probably complained, like, yo, like set us up for real life because you want people they always talk about we want our students to succeed after college and that, but it's like you're not helping that. Yes, it's exactly. It's like you have to be able, your actions have to match your words. Like, it's got to be one thing, or else the students will just be like, okay, I'm here in class, but I'm not going to do anything. So nothing's motivating me because this is just school. It's not the real life. You know, after you walk out those doors, you're in the real world. Yeah. So like, yeah, I think that's, get on it.
Valid.
Schools.
Valid. I love it. And we are on to the last question.
So sad.
I know. You'll be back on soon. Don't worry.
Yes, soon. I'm ready. I'm pumped.
That's awesome. The last question is, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I actually just said this the other day. I have like my whole set. So like in 2 years, within the next year or two, I'll be in California for a year or two. Live there. By the time I'm 27, 28, I want to live in Florida, you know, be near Disney.
Valid.
I'm going to, like, right now, now that I graduated, I'm starting to apply for, like, jobs. Like, you wouldn't think a creator would want to actually work with small businesses to grow their TikTok. And that's what's going to set me aside from all the applicants. And I already know, like, I'm just like manifesting it. Like, I know I'm going to get it because they can be like, oh my God, she has 1 million. Why does she want to help us?
I love it.
I mean? But like, that's my goal. Like, I want to inspire people. I want to help. From all the knowledge I know, I want to help. I'm not going to be dancing for the rest of my life. Like, I'm going to get old. I'm not J-Lo. Like, it's not going to happen. So I want to still be in that environment though, because I love the environment. So I'm definitely going to work with a lot of companies. Hopefully I want to work, end goal is to like work for social media and be part like Instagram or like TikTok if that's still kind of big, which I don't know, in 10 years. But I want to like be able to help creators or people who are following their dreams connect with brands, like have a, they call it like like Instagram calls it the creators, like the community of creators, and then TikTok calls it community room. So they call it that. So like I get all these emails like I'm part of that.
Right.
Like, oh, this is what I want to do. Like I just want to connect people to like brands that they would fit them with, get them brand deals, like
that's
have
awesome.
them grow. Like so like that's what I want to do, because I was like, oh my God, like I wish someone did this for me. Like I wish I did this sooner. So like that's what I want to do. So at that point, within 10 years, like within the next 10 years, like I want to be able to be at like a major social media platform, be in part of their team, and be part of that community of creators that's signing. Like the brand contacts us, they ask us to pick creators, send them the form to the creators, have them fill it out, pick which ones, and then have them send a PR package. Like that's what I want to do. I want to just, because like whenever you get a PR package, like I hate to say it, I get so many sometimes, and my mom thinks I'm buying it. She thinks like, Maria, stop sending your money. I go, Mom, if it says Renji on the post-it, I did not buy it. I go,
that's awesome.
I did not, I promise. But like it just makes you so happy. Like it's just crazy, because I'm gonna post it within the next couple days. I worked with Steve Madden on TikTok. Like it was one of their shoes that went viral, and now they're restocked. Nice. So they just told me make a little video. They sent me like 3 heels, sneakers.
Love it.
But I didn't know it was like coming, really. And I was just like, oh my God. Like it just makes everyone's day when you get like free stuff and then post it. And like you have it, and it just, you use it every day, and just like you just want to see the value in what people are creating and what they're posting, and like that's what I want to do. So hopefully that is my end game. If not, then I also do want to own a studio in a way.
Oh yeah.
I also do want to own a studio at some point. That, and then have it be almost kind of like an agency, but not really an agency, where it's almost like, all right, if you're gonna post stuff on social media, you want to grow your social media, like we'll help you. You can be part of this. I'll get you brand deals.
I love it.
We'll figure it out. So that's also my end goal. So I have 2 ways. Depending on where my life goes, it's either one of those 2 ways.
Yes.
But yeah, hopefully.
Yay. Oh my gosh, that's fabulous. That's great.
Hopefully the universe will just place it down when in my timeline the way I set it up. Hopefully, but we'll see.
Yes, I'm manifesting it for you.
Yes,
it's going to be amazing. You're welcome. Oh, thank you for coming on. This was so fabulous.
I am so excited. Shout out to everyone who made it to all the podcasts and the YouTube ones.
Hey,
shout out to you, because you know we out here.
Yes, with the dogs barking in the back. Hey, can't wait. I love it. Thank you, Maria, for coming on. Oh my God, this is the best.
You're thinking about me.
Of course.
It made me feel, oh my God, can I have a podcast? I was like, shit. I go, yes. Okay, I'm down.
Oh my gosh.
Let's do it.
You are too funny. Thank you very much.
I hope you all enjoyed today's episode as much as I did. I would definitely have to say that is one of my top interviews of all time. I love Maria. She's absolutely amazing. Like I said, she's so humble, so positive. When I first met her at the club, very out of my comfort zone, like I also said. And she's somebody that, like she mentioned, it can make you feel comfortable by just going up to you, just dancing. Like anytime you see her, you know that it's going to be a great positive night. So thank you, Maria, so much for coming on today. I appreciate you so much. I don't know if I said this before, but if you want to follow Maria, get her to 2 million on TikTok. It's Maria Renji. Maria Rengi, and it's the same on Instagram, so go follow and support her. That's it for today's episode. I don't think I forgot anything. I think that's Gucci. But for the end of today's episode, as usual, if you would like to follow me on my podcast journey, you know the drill, all at the Adult Algorithm. Twitter, adult_algorithm. We're not gonna even talk about it. We're not gonna even mention it. It's fine. We're doing things. We're getting there. Okay? And as usual, I will be here next week on Tuesday, on time, I swear. On Tuesday, not Wednesday, not Thursday, not Friday. To help you grow into your potential. This is Jasmine with the Adult Algorithm signing off. Bye!